Alrighty, guys, we're just going to get stuck in. This is for Aries. This is for May 2019. Just know that if you come to this before or after, after. If it's 12 months' time and you're watching this video, then know that it's the right time for you. There will be messages in here for you. Remember that for yourselves, guys. Know that if you've come across a video and the timeline might seem a little bit off, just ignore that, is what I'm trying to say. You've come to the video at the right time. Okay, so this is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising for May 2019 specifically, but not secluded to. I'm going to just see whatever comes in for you guys. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. What messages do we have? I'm working with the Mythical Tarot, but I might scrounge around and pull from everywhere. That's why I decided to go with this angle, because it lets you guys see how I kind of work. I can be a little bit over the shop, but whatever needs to come through always seems to get there. All right, we'll see what jumps out. We'll get started, and it'll take me just a little minute to get caught in. All right, let's see what we've got here. I don't generally read the cards in reverse because the messages seem to come in for me anyway. I can see that for some of you, this is something that's going on now in the present moment. I can see that there's a bit of a disconnect with your friendship group. I feel that there's been a situation recently where one of your friends was, I want to say, let go. For whatever reason, they are no longer a part of your friendship group. And this has impacted you in a way. It's kind of a Mean Girls vibe is what I'm getting here with your other friends. It's like you're starting to see them for who they really are. You're starting to see their real colors, their true colors. And it's making you kind of want to distance yourself from the relationship with them. But for whatever reason, there's kind of like these other two women. It's like they have some kind of a hold over you, or there's some reason that even though you're not friends, they're still going to be in your everyday, whether or not it's a work-related situation or they're connected to somebody in your family. I feel like this is more so the case, like one of them is dating your brother or something like that. So you're feeling really torn, you're feeling really segregated, you're feeling really isolated from the situation. It's like, I don't want to be friends with these women. They're not good people. They're doing shady shit. I don't want a bar of it kind of thing. And you're kind of like, well, do I even address the fact that what I'm seeing is there's no real need to, like, if you don't want to be friends with these women, just don't be friends with them. Like, you can slowly start to pull away from them. They're going to carry on about the situation the way that they're going to carry on anyways, regardless of if you make this a directly known response to their actions, or whether or not you just retreat from them in a more subtle way. Yeah, but what I'm definitely hearing is, like, these women are just draining your energy. They're just making you feel not good about yourself, not good about the situation. You don't want to be friends with them anymore, but you're feeling intimidated at the thought of pulling away. You don't need to make a big song and dance about it. Just pull away. Let them carry on with it the way that they're going to carry on with it. At the end of the day, you won't be involved in it anymore. There's also there's a need here for somebody to release some of the pressure that you're putting on your child. I feel that there is I feel that this kid of yours has done like something wrong. They've done the wrong thing, and this is your way of kind of teaching them a lesson. What's the word? Forbearing? No. It's just like teach them a lesson, but there's no real need to put too much pressure on them. Like they'll get it and figure it out eventually, without the need for you to put so much pressure on them to do it the way that you want them to do it. is what I'm seeing here. Because they're going to resent you for it. If you're kind of like, this is the way that's going to go, this is what you need to do, stiff shit, like this is how it's going to be, that's fine. But sort of give them a little bit of leeway, like when they start to respond and do what needs to be done, or they're showing signs of remorse and understanding, give in a little bit. There's no need to draw this whole scenario out for forever. I can see that somebody's going to be put in a position in May where you're in some sort of financial power, but this power comes with a price. There's a need to perhaps deliver some harsh news to somebody. This might be letting go somebody that's been in a family business for quite a while. This might also be the delegating of finances after the passing of somebody that's in your family. But I do see that, let me just see. Yeah, you're just feeling a little bit isolated as well, because it's like there's quite a few people talking and gossiping about the situation, but no one's willing to lend a hand. It's like you've been brunted with this decision to make, not being aware of that you were going to be the one that was going to make it for everybody anyway. It's just kind of like you've been lumped with it and you're feeling isolated. You don't want to be seen as the bad guy here. And I feel that the reason that there's a reason why you've been given this task. There's a reason why you're the one that has to make this decision. You're the one that has to delegate what's going to happen in this scenario. Yes, it's going to have financial impact on somebody, but it's like if you weren't the one to do this, then it was going to fall into the wrong hands, and the decision would be made, but it would be made and dealt with in the wrong way. So that's why you've been put in this position. So accept that, make the decision, and then move on from it. They'll get over it eventually. But either way, you're going to have to be the one that passes on the info. Someone's going to have quite a few offers in May, and this is like romantic. I feel like you're kind of still holding on to somebody in the background. There's somebody that you've either recently walked away from. Yeah, this is somebody that you've recently walked away from, but it's like the breakup was mutual to some degree, and you're kind of just like, oh, they're going to come back. Like, I know that they're going to pop in. You're going to be distracted in May because there's going to be quite a few offers. I just see you dating quite a lot. People kind of popping up. I feel like your friends are kind of trying to put you out there a little bit more, maybe family as well. This might even be, you might even meet somebody in a situation that involves like a family event. But know that these people that are coming in for you, they're gonna cause you a bit of confusion because you're still kind of hung up on this situation in the past. But the distraction is welcomed. The distraction becomes kind of exactly what you needed in order to move forward. Something's okay. You okay. For someone, there's a feeling of not trusting somebody, and the reason for this is because I feel like you already know the truth of the situation. This person's trying to hold something over you, or they're influencing other people in your friendship group or in your work situation, wherever this relates. They're influencing people in your circle with this information, and you kind of are like, I already know the truth. Like, I know, one, you know that they're doing this. Two, you know that what it is that they're going to other people with is complete, not a bullshit. But for whatever reason, you're feeling like you feel like you're restricted in what you can do about the situation, how you can move forward. For some of you, this might be whoever this is relating to. This could be a authority figure, like a boss, maybe even a parent, where it's kind of like this person's kind of making these decisions and putting their feet down, and you're feeling like you can't move. And what I'm hearing here is, unless you're going to speak up and sort of put them in their place, you're just going to have to walk away from the situation. You might inevitably have to walk away from the situation anyway, because it's like this is just going nowhere. But I do see that. Okay, let me just see here. At the end of whether you address this person or not, I feel like I almost feel like it's unavoidable whether or not you're going to address this person, because it gets to the point where if you don't say something to them and to them directly, you're going to blow up about it, and it's not going to go in your favor. So I feel like there is a need to be diplomatic with this situation. There is a need to be honest. There is a need to confront the situation on its head. And then you can walk away from the situation with a more successful outcome for yourself, with more, even just self-pride and self-dignity for knowing that you stood up to this person and you stood up for this situation, or you stood up to the situation. Some of you are going to be receiving a job offer or promotion. And I know that sounds very generic, but this is specifically for somebody that has been, it's like you've been wheeling and dealing. It's like, in a sense, there are people in your workplace that are going to be thinking of you as kind of like the bad guy, because it's like you've wanted this so bad that you've gone to whatever means necessary. And I don't think that you've had to necessarily push anybody down or put anybody down to be offered the promotion, but there's a need for you to be aware of the fact that you're not maybe going to receive the praise and the positive response that you thought you would have for being offered the promotion or being offered this new advancement. There's a potential for travel for some of you. That's crazy that would come out again. There's a potential for travel for some of you in May. This is like fun travel. This is something that has taken quite a while for planning. So this is something that was set in motion, but I feel like it could be a competition. Somebody's entered a competition, and the competition is travel somewhere. And this is, if you've put in for a comp for buggering off someplace, I see that coming in for whoever this relates to. There's a need for, if you're looking at laying down some foundations in terms of future planning, in terms of almost like saving up for something, but I don't feel like it's something that's more material. I feel like it's saving up for like a rainy day. I'm definitely seeing that that's something that you should be doing. But also at the same time, there's a need for some of you to be aware of the fact that someone's coming into some money here. There's more money coming in for somebody, and you've come from a position of maybe not having quite as much money, and this has made you kind of frivolous. It's like you've got all this money and you don't want to spend it because you're scared of where you've been. And that's smart. But at the same time, what I'm hearing here is put some away for a rainy day so that you know you've got that security blanket, but reward yourself for the efforts that you've done to get to where you are. Like, you wanted this. You wanted this money. This is finally where you wanted to be. So you've got every resource available to you to be smart about it and to spend it wisely and to, lay foundation for the future, but also have fun in the meantime as well. What's the point in working so hard to get all the money if you're not going to do anything with it? And also with that situation, if that relates to you, I'm kind of hearing there's a need for some of you to perhaps be a little bit more forthright, a little bit more voluntary with helping others in a less than financial position than yourself. So if you're somebody that's well off and you're feeling kind of like a bit of a pull to maybe do something good for somebody else with what you have, May is definitely the month for you to start implementing that. It doesn't need to be a grand gesture. It doesn't need to be above and beyond your means. But if this is something that you've been thinking about, I'm definitely seeing it as a positive more so than not. It's definitely something that you should act on because there's a potential reward for that for yourself as well. Okay. Okay, someone's feeling withdrawn from a situation. This is a situation that is out of your control. This is a situation that you can't change, but you're allowing the effects of this situation. You're going within yourself to see how to deal with it. I feel like this might even be like snickering, backstabbing, that kind of an impression, but you're sort of going within yourself to deal it. You're not somebody that's confrontational. You're not somebody that wants to address the situation head on for whatever reason. I feel this goes against what you would normally do in these situations. So there is some sort of third party. There is some sort of outside factor here that's preventing you from carrying on and handling this situation how you would typically handle a situation. And this is kind of causing, like I said, it's causing you to go within, but it's really sort of putting you in a bit of a negative mindset, a bit of a negative mind frame. Let me just see what else. Okay, yeah. There is a need to release this situation. There's just a real sense here of feeling out of control, feeling lost. This is a situation that sort of come up out of nowhere. You weren't expecting it. Not that anybody expects for shitty situations. But you're somebody that definitely likes to have your ducks lined up in a row. You don't like unpredictability. You don't like when things are chaotic, and that's exactly how you're feeling in the moment at the moment because of this situation. I feel that this is necessary. It was sort of something that was kind of building and building and building and building and building. You don't want to get caught up in obsessing over the negatives, obsessing over the what ifs, obsessing over the circumstances involved that you weren't able to change or you're not able to change. There's a need to release. There's a need for, I feel like this might even be like a bit of a dark night of the soul, where this was necessary to learning, necessary to growth, necessary to purge away from past situations, habits. There's a message here to, if you can, look into work with your heart chakra, focus on that. I'm also seeing here there was a real need for this to happen for you because this has sort of been something that's been blocking you in terms of moving forward with what it is that you want, what it is that you can see for yourself. Because, with releasing and letting go of all this crap, the reason this is taking so much effect on you, this situation that's causing you so much concern and confusion, and the reason that you're unable to handle this tactfully in a way that you would have all other events and circumstances and situations of this kind of a nature is because it's necessary for you to go within in this situation. There's messages to be learned here. There's past shit, anything that's sort of coming up for you that's not serving you in the best way possible, in the best way moving forward. That is what you need to focus on in order to do away with, in order to make way for this abundance, in order to make way for this positivity. I feel like for a lot of you, this is in relation to a relationship. In relation to a relationship. God, what am I talking about today? This is necessary to do away with past relationships that don't serve you, past emotional attachments. connections, thoughts, unwanted desires in terms to bring in what it is that you really do want. I'm hearing that you should be, if this relates to you, be specific to what it is that you want from a partner, within a partner, and what it is that you're willing to offer a partner. And know that this can come in for you, accept that this can come in for you, accept that this place of negativity isn't where you're going to be forever. Trust your intuition, trust those niggling thoughts, trust those quick instinctual, quick little bouncing ideas that are popping in and out of your head. Don't dismiss them. Do something about it. Act on them. Let go of what it is that doesn't serve you and bring in what it is that is going to help build you up. If you make a change and it starts to resonate and feel positive and feel like you're moving in a positive direction, then stick with it, keep at it, keep going with it. There's a lot of pentacles in here for you guys. So a lot of concerns with money, a lot of concerns with finances. I'm also seeing here that there's a need to be smart with your finances in May. While there were messages in here to have a bit of a splurge and have a bit of a take a bit of risk and have a bit of fun with your money. I'm also definitely seeing here that there's a need to, while you're having fun, while you're spending, there's a need to put some in reserves. There's a need to tuck some away. Don't overspend is what I'm seeing here. There's a bit of a imbalance for some of you guys. Maybe too much enjoyment, maybe too much egotistical consumption. So there's a need to sort of balance things out and get back on track. If you're kind of like partying too hard, if food's a problem, if spending's a problem, work out what it is that you're trying to cover up, what emotion, what it is that you're trying to suppress with these superficial desires, wants, needs. What is it that you're trying to hide from yourself? Somebody might, as I said, I did mention that before, getting a promotion, but there's also with that a possibility for new jobs, new income for you guys. That's a big one this month. I'm seeing. I'm hearing that if there's any of you, this ties in with what we were just saying, but if any of you are thinking about maybe a new career, a new job, if this is something that it's like, yeah, you're turning a hobby, you're turning something that you do for free into a way of making money. That's definitely something that you should pursue, because you can have it as a side hustle and then build it up into something better. So it's not like if you're intimidated with the risk involved with, I'm just going to stop my job and I'm just going to start doing this. If that's what you feel like you want to do, then go for it. If you feel that you can make that risk. If you have that idea and the risk is too high, then see if you can start it off on the side. See if you can keep both going for a little while and develop and grow and build it that way. There's a need to be mindful of who it is that you are lending money to. Money is a big one for you guys this month, but there's a need to be mindful of who it is that you're giving money to. I feel like there's somebody, there's a situation involving an elderly person and your sibling you feel like is maybe using them, like taking them for advantage, I want to say. Is that the right? I don't know. Taking advantage of them. Trust your instincts with this situation and try and do what you can. If there's a way that you can sort of step in and handle the situation so that your parents are better protected in the future, I'm definitely hearing that that's something that you should look into. Okay, let's see what else we've got for you guys. Well, we've got a minute. Okay, there's going to be a focus for some of you on changing up the family dynamic. For some of you, pregnancy is going to be a big one. I feel like there's a conversation that comes up around do we, don't we? And it's decided, no, we won't, we'll wait, we'll do it the way that we've always said that we're going to do it. This is to do with pregnancy, obviously. So yeah, the conversation is we'll leave it, we'll do it the way that we said that we're going to do it, and then you fall pregnant anyway. So if there's anybody watching this and you think, oh, am I not? Well, you are. If there's anybody watching this, and yes, I did write on that card, if there's anybody watching this and they're not sure, there's a message here for to like not be. There's no need to cry over spilt milk is what I'm hearing here. So in terms of relationship, the message is to pick your battles. I feel like there's a situation where somebody doesn't have faith and doesn't have trust in the person that they're with. They're doubtful. They're not believing them. There's insecurities that are resurfacing and coming up from a past romantic situation. There's a need to look at this relationship from a new perspective and a new point of view. Don't tell yourself that history is going to repeat yourself with this person. Whatever it is, the cause for the distrust, that's what you should be focusing on, because I'm seeing that the distrust itself, it's irrelevant. It's not happening the way that you think it is. It's not happening at all. Your significant other is being totally and brutally honest with you, although you keep bringing it up and doubting them and confronting them about it. Know that there's a need to maybe let that go, because they are going to withdraw from you if it keeps. It's going to be detrimental to your relationship if they keep telling you, no, I'm not, and you keep not believing them. When there's no proof here, there, or the other. The fact of the matter is that they're not being unfaithful, but you're not. That's not what you're wanting to hear, because you're just like, oh, you're just going to do it anyways, whether it's now or later. You need to get out of that mindset that's going to push this person away, and they're going to walk away from the situation having not even done anything. And this relates to this person here, that they're a very empathetic person. They will tolerate a lot, they will put up with a lot, but they kind of at their wits' end. They're feeling like I can't put up with much more of this. I'm telling you, no. The answer is no. Like, there's no other thing that I can do to show you, to try to have you believe me. So the issue here in this situation falls back on yourself. You need to accept what it is that they're saying to you. I don't see that the situation, there's no cause for dishonesty. What they're saying is true. The issue doesn't lie with them. The issue lies with you. All right, guys. That's your messages for May 2019. Now, who's next? We're going to do Sagittarius. So I'll jump back on and I'll get that done for Saggies. I hope that Aries, I hope that you guys got something out of this video. Thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments if the messages resonated for you. Okay, guys, thank you.